From Neural Newscast, this is Deep Dive, exploring the moments that shape today.
I am Jonah Klein, and you are listening to Deep Dive. Today is June 15th, 2026, and we are looking back at a date where the common thread is breaking the rules, or at the very least, writing down the ones everyone has to follow.
I'm Nina Park. We are starting in 1215 at a soggy meadow in England called Runnymede. This is where King John met a group of very angry barons and changed the relationship between the government and the people forever.
King John is usually the villain in the Robin Hood stories. He is portrayed as this greedy, incompetent monarch. How much of that reputation led to him standing in a field signing away his absolute power, Nina?
Quite a lot. John had lost a series of expensive wars in France and tried to pay for them by heavily taxing his barons. He also had a very public falling out with the Pope. By 1215, the barons had enough. They marched on London, and the Magna Carta, or Great Charter, was the peace treaty intended to stop a civil war.
It is wild to think that a document written on parchment with iron gall ink 800 years ago is still cited in courtrooms today. It established that nobody, even the king, is above the law. That is the core of a fair society.
The original version was mostly about the rights of free men and feudal law, but the principles it introduced, like due process and a right to a fair trial, eventually evolved into the foundation for the Bill of Rights and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
It is a heavy legacy for a king who mostly just wanted to keep his crown. Moving forward about a century, we find another royal who took a much more aggressive approach to his family's interests. June 15th, 1330, marks the birth of Edward the Black Prince.
He is one of the most famous military figures of the Middle Ages. As the eldest son of King Edward III, he was a key leader during the 100 Years' War against France, winning legendary victories at Crécy and Poitiers.
The name always sounded like a comic book anti-hero. Was he actually called the Black Prince during his life, or is that a historical branding thing?
It likely came later, Jonah. Some historians think it referred to the black armor he allegedly wore, while others suggest it was a commentary on his brutal reputation in battle. Regardless, he was the ultimate knight of his era, though he died before he could inherit the throne from his father.
From medieval warfare to the sounds of the North. In 1843, we have the birth of Edvard Grieg. He is the person who gave Norway its musical voice.
Grieg was a central figure of the Romantic era. He took the folk music of his homeland and wove it into these incredible works of orchestration. If you have ever heard In the Hall of the Mountain King, you know his work. It is practically synonymous with Scandinavian folklore.
It is iconic. Everyone recognizes it, even if they do not know the name. While we are talking about household names, we have to mention Courteney Cox, born on this day in 1964. Nina, you cannot talk about the 90s without her.
Absolutely. As Monica Geller on Friends, she was at the center of a cultural phenomenon for a decade. Beyond that, she has had a massive career as a producer and director, and of course her role in the Scream franchise. She is a powerhouse of modern entertainment.
She has incredible staying power. Speaking of staying power, our fact of the day is about a procedure that took a very long time to get right. On this day in 1667, a French doctor named Jean-Baptiste Denis performed the first documented human blood transfusion.
It was not exactly what you would see in a modern hospital, Jonah. Dr. Denis transfused a small amount of sheep's blood into a 15-year-old boy. The boy survived, which is a miracle considering the biological risks of cross-species transfusions.
Sheep's blood sounds like something out of a horror movie. Why sheep?
The theory at the time was that animal blood might be purer or less tainted by human vice. Unfortunately, subsequent attempts by Denis were not as successful.
2 other patients died, which led to the procedure being banned for centuries, until we understood blood types in the early 1900s.
It is a sobering reminder of how trial and error shaped the world we live in, from the laws that govern us to the medicine that saves us. That is the story for June 15th. I'm Jonah Klein.
And I am Nina Park. Thank you for joining us for this look at the history that shaped our present. We will see you tomorrow for another journey into the past. You can find more at deepdive.neuralnewscast.com. Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast.
This has been Deep Dive on Neural Newscast, exploring the moments that shape today.